it's a CEO game again, and this time it's against 3 players. So yeah, let's get going. It's gonna be a slightly longer game than before. So this is the map. You can see it's pretty plainsy. And again, I'm gonna try to, like, I'm gonna found last because I need this extra claim. 2 claims is just too few. Right now, as you can see, I haven't found any iron, so I wouldn't found anyways. I haven't even found carbon, so it's like nothing I would found right now would make sense. But yeah, that's the first iron I found. But because I know I have minimum is normal, so there's gonna be more than one. It is possible there's going to be like a very few of some resource, but there's still gonna be like 4-5 stacks, like I mean like 4-5 things. Okay, yeah, there was a like spike here, and here we found good iron thing. Okay, now I'm thinking, well, here's the thing, like I've tried like lots of CEO games by now, and I think robotics is by far the easiest in CEO because of not needing life support. Okay, that's I think that's like the main reason, and also not needing class, not needing fuel. So it's like 3 things robotics doesn't need, and and I feel like it's very important when you have like little claims, cause you know sometimes if things go badly, like energy prices go really high, you have to like self-sustain it. Okay, otherwise you go bankrupt. Like but if there's like water, food, and oxygen, and they all go high, it's really hard to sustain yourself, you know, because yeah, you can like sell one of them, mass produce it, and but the other ones would be still like pricey, and it's because of that it's really hard to be efficient. All right, so what I did here, uh, got aluminum and 2 iron mines. So okay, why did I build 2 iron mines when I need steel? Okay, to upgrade. And steel is gonna like cost a lot. Like if you think I can't, you know, sell iron and buy steel, okay, that's out of option, because if I sell 100 iron, price will be $9, and if I buy how much I need, 110 steel, the price will be again like $60, and too expensive anyways. This won't work. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna stockpile iron. Okay, and I'm gonna scrap those things and place 2 steel mills instead of them soon enough. So why I do this is because adjacency bonuses, yes, efficiency. Yeah, I don't care about this plot actually. I could, but I don't, because I mean, yeah, I could get like a second aluminium here, but nah, it's not worth it, because there's like future auctions, and I'm gonna get some debt anyways. And like you can see, so I stockpiled 200 iron. I would actually like to like stockpile more, but I want to upgrade really fast, because this thing, I also want to get this plot, because then I get like 3 cluster, and I'm kinda, you know, scared that someone could, you know, possibly miss research, could pop his steel mill here, but yeah, she did it already here, so maybe I shouldn't be so worried. But still, if someone builds a building here, yeah, I would be pretty screwed. Like about this adjacency bonus. Okay, first off, you know, um, every claim that I have, you know, it's basically, if you think about it, every plot of land should basically generate you income. Okay, you, you invest one claim, and like this whatever resource you need for the building, and it should start making more income uh, than compared to, you know, how much you invested into it. Okay, and ideally you want to like get a lot more, because that's how you actually build up your like economy and win the game eventually. So if I have an adjacency steel mills here, okay, first off, I will be much efficient like time wise, like producing steel, but I would also be consuming less iron while producing the steel. Okay, there's two things to consider, and they both add up, because right now each steel mill is producing me 0.6 steel out of one iron, and if you consider it's like the cost is $18. Well, actually, yeah. Now I have to start buying iron. I think for a short while I'm gonna do it manually, but I'm gonna turn it on automatic. So anyways, you consider like the iron price is the cost, and you're gonna produce 0.6 of steel. So basically, it's it's around like $60. So 0.6, therefore, is around, how much is it? Man, $36. No, that's not efficient actually. Well, then again, it's not like I can buy steel, because if I buy 100 steel, the price will be like much more different. And what I did here now, again, I'm out of iron, so I'm gonna pop 3 iron mines, and I'm gonna produce all of them with 100% efficiency. That's like having 2 3 stacks, like I mean like two 3 tiles, like basically 100% efficiency means like this one cube here is same as a solo 3 cube basically. So I have two of those, and one that's even better, you know. So as you're gonna see, I'm gonna start pumping out a lot of iron. It's 5.6. I'm gonna do it for a while, and then I'm gonna scrap them again and start producing steel. And at some point, you know, when I have 3 steel mills already, then the efficiency is much better. It's 80%. So that means actually it's like you, again, you spend the iron cost, and you produce whatever steel costs times 0.8. And now other players are gonna start screwing with me. Again, the black market, like if you, yeah, look at this. Look how cheap black market actually is. And for me, it's more than twice expensive for this, for example. This is insane. Okay. That's I kind of feel like in CEO, I'm out of the black market game almost, you know, because at every point in the game I feel like the prices are just too high to be able to afford them. Um, yeah, there's gonna be lots of such waiting, because I get emped, and it's not like I can afford coon squads or anything. But luckily they're gonna mess with each other as well, so it's fine. Also, at some point, you know, carbon prices were really high, so I used the pirates to steal carbon, and I used it to build my windmill, and I'm gonna actually store this carbon to future get another windmill. Now this auction, like, teleport is by far the best patent, okay? But in this game, I was like, you know, I gotta get like take care of that because it's like 3 player game is not like 1 player game, you know. When you have that in 3 player game, you're so much, you know. First off, the game is going to go like last longer. That means that is gonna build up longer. That means you're gonna like have much more risk in taking that. So, and everything I have was actually very close to me. You know, this close, this is close, this, well, it's electronics, and like in the future, I'm not gonna build a whole lot more anyway. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be fine with it. Yeah, and I let him have the teleport, even though it is by far one of the best patents in the game, and he got it for a very good price considering. Where is Mr. Sabotage Buildings? Well, actually, he's not using it that much either. But I think Miss Entertainment could possibly want it, or Green. Miss Research would definitely want it, I think, because if I remember correctly, she's gonna spread out even more, and she's already very spread out. So that, like, the fuel prices, they are already pretty hefty. Okay. But yeah, teleport. It's this kind of it's a kind of a patent that actually allows you for a huge flexibility. That means you don't have to build anything near your like capital. You can. It's very good for researchers because they can, like, you know, do a cluster of glass here wherever they are. It doesn't matter, you know. So it's really good for them. Uh, but yeah, strangely, it's a strange game. There are two scavengers, research, and me as robotics. And carbon actually it makes sense because carbon is really cheap, and they're like really good carbon spots. I didn't see those when I started that. So, and if you look at iron, then he has 2 steel mills, and I had 3, and that's about it. That's like pretty much about it. And I'm not sure what I'm trying to do. I think I'm. I think I started producing steel because the prices went so high that it's okay if I buy iron for a little while, you know. And that's what I'm gonna do. And actually, price of the price of iron is also gonna go up because I'm gonna start buying it once I run out of it. And here I didn't notice it at start, but I got an extra claim because of really unknown reasons. I think, like, occasionally if time passes, everyone gets like one extra claim or something like that. I'm not sure how it exactly works. If, like, if you don't upgrade fast enough or whatever. Like, I'm not sure if it's for everyone or or for like those who are the underdogs or something. Anyways, right now, like, look at here. There's this. If you can spot those things, like, naturally something is like going up in price, and silicon right now is very cheap. So if you can possibly buy as much as possible, because I upgraded right now, I couldn't sell steel to buy more, so that's a pity. And actually, I think I paused for a different reason, and then I noticed it. Yeah, I paused because I was thinking like, okay, I upgraded. What I'm gonna do with 3 claims? Okay, actually, I already know what I'm gonna do. Pretty much. I'm gonna build another wind turbine, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure actually. We'll see. We'll see. I don't remember. But I'm definitely gonna get hacker array, as usually. And I know that I will start producing fuel because water is so cheap and fuel is very pricey. Okay, so now you noticed I sold the silicon and I like made basically 6,000 out of nothing, basically some random element. And so I'm thinking what I'm gonna do, whether or not I'm even gonna like start producing power because it's not that pricey yet. I still think I should. Yeah, now I'm buying iron to produce steel. And you know, it's actually iron mines right now, like for a short period, they would be like more proficient. And that's why this AI also popped an iron mine, even though he's like scavenger. He's just gonna use it to sell iron. And yeah, it's gonna be fine for him, I guess. But here's the thing, like if you're doing things like that, really efficient builds, you know, you can use hacker array to actually short all those iron stuff when they're really low. Just buy a lot of them, uh, and that way you save a lot of money, and you don't have to go back and forth. Or if you do, you have to do it much less, you know, because like hacker array, consider this like you spend like $1,000 at first to cause a surplus, okay, and if you would like, if I would do like again like build iron mines here, I would lose so much time that this $1,000 easily pays for himself, okay. So it's like consider old options. Here I build one this, and I'm gonna build another one. And here's the thing, I didn't build a second electricity, but I did it because you know electricity prices are so low, and I don't know. I was gambling, I guess. Could call it gambling. And you're gonna see like later on why it's even more like kind of like gambling. It's because I don't think I will upgrade this H core anymore. Yeah. Okay, this is a useless patent. Honestly, like carbon is costs nothing. Even this 140 carbon I have, it's like waste of space. I don't know. Happens, you know. Everything doesn't work out like you want. And now I'm making a steel shortage, like in my hacker array. And what I even did, I think I'm gonna buy some steel myself, and that's kind of why I'm not going to, you know, how to put it. Okay, here you see I built iron mines because iron prices were so crazy. I'm gonna sell iron, and yeah, it was kind of sketchy, but right now actually it's gonna work out because you know I'm I'm shorting steel, okay, and I'm gonna produce like 5.6 iron, and I'm gonna sell it really good. and I'm gonna like I'm gonna make a lot of money back, and I can buy steel for it, and it's actually gonna be like worth it. Like compared to me rising the price of iron even further, because yeah, like you can see, like shipping tons of iron already very fast. It's like, oh, and yeah, I got underground nuked here. So instead of 5.2, I'm making 3.6. It's okay. And I had 320 steel. Okay, let's see how much does he have? Okay, he has 0. He has 0. He wasn't prepared for it at all. Like, oh hey, no, she has 80 steel. Okay, let's see if the AI actually is gonna sell it. What he's gonna do with the steel? Is he gonna sell it at any point? It's really interesting to see. Okay. Am I gonna sell it? I'm gonna sell it at some point. Yeah, I think I sold it at least 100 to make some extra money for myself. And I'm actually shorting steel even more further. So here I had this option to like upgrade, but you know, no. I need this steel for cash. So actually, it's a very good point now. Let's talk about like upgrading. It gives me 3 extra claims now. Okay, and it costs me 360 steel. Don't care about this tile, this aluminium, it's like worthless. So 360 steel, I'm shorting it. So right now 360 steels I can sell easily for 72,000. Now, do you know what that means? Like, if you're listening, 72,000. Okay, 72,000 for 3 claims. But look at all the prices in stock here. Like Miss Research, she upgraded. She did okay. She needed less steel than I do. Sure, sure. But still, she upgraded. I, on the other hand, I bought more steel. I'm gonna produce now steel because iron prices are really low. Now I'm even surplusing iron to make sure that I won't like, you know, have no problem with it. And I just made 87,000 with the money, or like with the steel I could have spent for upgrading. I bought my auctions. Now as you see, my stock I made, and now you have to see the magic here. Okay, so basically I bought my stock very cheap. I bought it like $4 to $7. Okay, now once I start buying someone else's stock, look how my stock prices go up, like really low, you know. And I sell my stuff. So I bought my stock for 4 to 7. I sell it for 14. And I buy his. I sell mine again. And next time I buy out. With the steel I could have used for upgrading. And instead of 3 claims, I get a whole player, okay? Yeah, get this stuff here. So it's good, do good stuff here. Okay, oil and oxygen, nah, that's not so proficient. Water is still cheap. So now I got this like new land, and I have to, you know, if you get some, if you buy out the company, usually you have to redesign things. scrap some useless stuff. And what I'm gonna do is build this 4 hydroponic farms. Yeah, scrap it because it's really inefficient. I got really good income sources here. I'm producing some water as well now, and I got so much claims now. It's great. It's really great. And steel prices, they are still very high, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but thing is, I'm gonna have like a 4 cluster here, and they're gonna start producing me good money. I have a steel cluster here, it's producing me good money, and I have these things, they are producing me good money. So yeah, now if you like gonna continue watching, you see how good is like owning this stuff. You probably know it, but if you own like so many good targets, like then the black market becomes so much weaker against you because they have to bomb everything. They have to bomb this. They have to bomb this. They have to bomb those two. And you can't do it all. I guess you just can't do it all. But still, because it's very high difficulty for me, level, then I still have to make some sound decisions, and I have a huge advantage right now, but game is not over. So, okay, now there is an auction for a new claim. This is really good for me because I want to make this cluster even more efficient. Because here I'm gonna have a really efficient cluster once I get some more money. And I'm gonna get it right away. Because I think, again, I like bought some class pretty cheap. And now I'm gonna sell it after this spike ends. And yeah. But again, I feel like robotics is just so strong because they consider I'm consuming 0.3 electronics. Like scavengers and all the rest of them, they're like consuming food. And right now this food is like, I think at like let's see. So minus 0.8 food for level 4 HQ. Now I'm consuming 0.3 electronics. If you can't keep those prices low, like food, oxygen, fuel, then if you're non-robotic, you're gonna take so much debt, or like you're gonna spend so much money basically, because because of that. And if I'm playing in CEO, it's really hard for me to guarantee that all those prices are low. And usually it's like early game I can't guarantee any of them, and that means I'm gonna probably take a huge amount of debt. Okay. That's gonna hurt me. It's gonna hurt me a lot. And now I'm gonna just sell stuff. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna steel shortage and iron surplus is like coming up next. Someone bombed my steel mill. They froze this. They mutinied this. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to. At this point in the game, but it's not gonna matter because you know I have still the steel in the making. Price is even gonna go higher. Mr. Research, okay, he has steel. Oh, and she even upgraded. And that means, like, again, she spent so much money on steel that if she had just spent, like, sold all the steel, considered, she could have bought out Mr. Sabotage for something, okay? And she would get so much more. I guess she wants to go for the Offworld market, okay? But here's the other thing, like by the time everyone get Offworld markets, the stock prices are going to be really high. Compared to like when I started like buying the other players, stock prices were like $4 to $7. And when I bought them out, eventually it was like 12, 13, 16, something like that. And in the late game, the stock prices are gonna be like 40 to 50. Once all the stocks are being like, okay, now I'm still buying him out. This research. Anyway, where were I? So the stock prices in the late game are like gonna be so much more expensive. That means, like, when I sold design, I made 90,000. This 90,000 at that point is basically 3 times more worth than the 90,000 in the future. So basically, if you compare like Offworld markets, at the time you like make $50, 50,000 like each run, something like that. Maybe probably less because you know you also have the pied resource. So let's say you make 40,000 each run. 90,000 at this point when I had it is worth around 270,000 in the late game. This means it's worth how many runs? 7 runs, almost 7 runs, 6 to 7 runs in the Offworld market. Okay, so this hacker array plus not upgrading me basically was worth 6 to 7 Offworld market runs. If you consider this, like if you look at this like that, then it's insane, you know, because that's around the same. Like in the future you also need like 6 to 7 runs. Actually you need so much more, because usually what happens in the late game is like everyone buys everyone's stock, so eventually if you want to buy someone out you have to pay the double price. So eventually you're gonna pay like on average 70, 60, $80 for each like stock. So yeah, buying really early is basically the money when you buy, like if you start buying like from the $6, $7 era, the money there is around 10 times more worth, like in the stock market, than it is gonna be like in the future. So you definitely have to consider it. But let's see now, stats. So resources. So no one sold anything Offworld again. As you can see, where did I get the most money? Okay, steel 260,000. So basically that's my game winner. Okay, here, right here. Food 83,000. But everything else as well. Like consider all those small transactions, like glass, for example. This one time in a spike, I made 20,000. Silicon, one time had a spike, I made 12,000. Chemicals, okay, I produced them afterwards. Iron, yeah, I consumed it. It's basically, this should be basically retracted from the profit I made with steel. But steel was key, okay. But everything else, little things like building food instead of those other things it had, it's all those things add up. So steel was key, but it was, like you can see, it was only half. It was only half. And so I shorted 3 steel, surplus 2 iron. No one else seems to have done nothing. The AI, okay, Miss Entertainment wasn't doing very well actually. Miss Research, okay, see, he bought a lot of steel, 100,000 worth of steel, and so she sold much less because she upgraded to level 5 and got like claims, sure, but those claims at that point weren't like worth anything. 41,000 on food, okay, that's good. Yeah, she produced glass, so she made some money on that. And Mr. Sabotage, okay, on oxygen, fuel, okay. And if you now look at all the black market stuff, here's another thing, like I spent 0. I would, in multiplayer I spend a lot on my black market, but I should make a separate video for that because it's actually a very interesting part of the game. But in CEO difficulty, because the prices are just so high, I don't want to spend money on that. But they, okay, she didn't spend that much. Okay, so he spent the most. And if you look at the resources, he basically spent all the money he gained, all the profit on black market. Okay, that's kind of a mistake here. Okay, I think all the AIs were going for the long game, you know, especially Miss Research, because she was level 5. So that means she could have potentially built an Offworld market, but she needs lots of steel for it, and I was just pumping up the steel price. So that's another thing, like if there's, it's hard to produce steel. Like in this map, there's like very little iron. I didn't have a monopoly, okay, because she also had a 3 cluster here. It's slightly less efficient, but I didn't have a monopoly by all means, because in a way she didn't have to like produce iron, so we were kind of equal in producing steel. It wasn't monopoly, but it was still like to build Offworld markets, and to also, like when you're shorting steel, it's gonna cost you so much. Like for example, think of all the 600 steel you need for Offworld market, how much it costs. When are you going to get the returns? You have to think about these things, because yeah, that's what the game is all about. Okay, I think that's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you got some good ideas and tips to improve your own play. And yeah.